need you to picture this. Your organization is facing a looming cyber threat, and the clock is ticking. You know that an effective security budget can be your best defense. But where do you even start? Today, let us unveil the essential framework for building your first security budget. One that will not only protect your assets, but also align with your organization's goals and set you up for long term success. Now, the first step to building your security budget is to understand the security landscape. Cybercrime is projected to cost organizations trillions of dollars in the coming years. From ransomware to sophisticated phishing attacks, the threat environment is more complex than ever. Understanding this landscape is vital in justifying your budget and prioritizing your security initiatives. I want you to recognize the urgency of investing in security. The threats are real and growing, and a proactive budget can be your first line of defense. Step two, you need to understand which regulatory compliance standards as well as requirements your organization needs to meet up with. Frameworks like GDPR, PCI DSS, and HIPAA will impose specific security requirements, and non-compliance can lead to significant fines as well as reputational damage. You need to incorporate compliance costs into your budgets. Understanding and meeting these requirements as well as regulations is not just a legal obligation, it is a core component of your security strategy. The third step, I need you to assess your current security posture. You need to understand that by assessing your current security posture, that is the foundation of your budgeting process. So you need to start with one, a vulnerability assessment. That means you need to identify the weaknesses in your systems. Number two, you have to do threat modeling. That means you should analyze all the potential threats as well as their impacts. Then number three, you need to do a gap analysis. What you need to do is that you compare your current posture with against other industry standards. You're going to compare what your current security posture looks like against security standards. It is important that you actually assess your security posture because it will help you to know and understand where you stand. The assessments will help you identify what to allocate and where to allocate these resources effectively. Step four, you should define your security objectives. It is very important that you have a clear picture of your current state. By having a clear picture of your current state, it will help you to align your organization's broader goals, ensure that they are clear and as well as measurable. And they also reflect your risk tolerance as well as your business priorities. Some of the common objectives that I would include are reducing the risk of data breaches, ensuring compliance with relevant regulations, enhancing incident response capabilities, and improving employee security training as well as awareness. You need to understand that by setting clear, measurable objectives, it will guide your budget decisions and ensure alignment with your business priorities. Now, step five, you need to identify key security domains. What are the key security domains within your organization's infrastructure? Now, you need to understand that by identifying the key security domains, it will help you know what requires specific budget considerations. Now, some of the ones that I would advise that you ensure that you do are number one, network security. This includes the firewalls, the intrusion detection systems, as well as your secure gateways. Then the endpoint security, that should include things like the antivirus, the endpoint detection tools, as well as the response solutions. Then number three, data security. This will include encryption technologies, data loss prevention solutions as well. Then IAM tools, identity and access management tools. What is your multi-factor authentication solution looking like? What is your multi-factor authentication operations looking like? Then your single sign-on solutions as well. Then lastly, security operations. Your SIM tools is very important that you add them as well as your threat intelligence subscriptions. I will advise that you prioritize your investments, allocate your resources based on the risk assessments that you have done, as well as your defined objectives. Number six, that is step six, step include human capital. I want you to remember that investing in technology alone is not enough. That is never enough. Human capital is equally important. You need to include number one, staffing. What that means is that security professionals, including your analysts, engineers, and incident response team, that is required to hire them as well as train them. This should go under that budget. Your training as well as awareness. That includes the regular training programs for all your employees so that they can recognize security threats and be able to follow best practices. That is also important. I want you to understand that human factors often represent the weakest link in security. Therefore, investing in this particular area is very crucial. You need to invest in your people. Building a security aware culture is vital for reducing human error, which often poses the greatest risk. That's step seven. I need you to plan for incident response and recovery. You need to know that no security budget is complete without planning for incident response. So you should allocate funds for your incident response teams, who are the dedicated professionals to help and handle a security incident. Number two, your testing as well as drills, the regular exercises that you're going to be doing, all the rehearsals that you're going to be doing in order to ensure that everyone is prepared, is also going to be a part of the budgets. Then disaster recovery, your backup solutions, your backup systems, and the business continuity planning ensure that you actually make allocations in your budget for them. You need to prepare for the unexpected. A well defined and executed incident response plan can significantly reduce the impact of a security breach and ensure rapid recovery. Now, step eight, which is the final step and the most important one. Always ensure that you monitor and adjust. Monitor and adjust. Security is not a one-time investment, so you need to implement a process for one, regular reviews. That means you need to assess and the effectiveness of your security measures as well as the budget allocations regularly. Two, adaptation. You need to stay informed about emerging threats and adjust your budget as needed. Number three, your stakeholder engagements. Regularly communicate with executive leadership as well as key stakeholders. That is to help ensure alignment and support for your security initiatives. You need to stay agile. The threat landscape changes rapidly, and your budget should also evolve to meet with those challenges. I want you to know that building your first security budget is a strategic process that requires careful planning as well as ongoing evaluation. By following the framework I have just listed and given to you, you can create a budget that not only protects your organization, but also positions you for success. I'll see you on the other side of growth.